all your power at 0. All right. We are finally transmitting to the world. Yeah, I need to set the music to 5 dB, and then make sure. Subscribe again. Yeah, right. We do need people to subscribe harder. You all need to subscribe and like the gate, like this thing harder. I also realized I could just start uploading the 3-minute version straight to Facebook. So that'll be starting this week. Oh. Okay. Weird. All right. Fascinating. I thought we were getting Scott Bakula and Star Trek United, but I guess... Can we get... All right. We'll have you host that news once we get near the end of our... Oh. Yeah, if we could just research them while we're going. I should probably hit the start button.
Go. That is Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, that show came back. I figure we'll start reviewing season 4 of Strange Unoriginal Crap when we get done with Spider-Man. Which, by the way, Corbin, did you get to Spider-Man?
I did not. I went and did the Odyssey instead.
All right, so we'll all be selling each other on everything tonight. Sounds good. No, I'll have an explanation as to why we're going to make it next week for sure. Oh no, 2 videos with Odyssey review content. I mean, I'm going to be honest, guys. This subject's probably going to be relevant, probably through to next month, because even though we'll deep dive more into it, the 70mm theater that is near my location up in Fort Lauderdale is sold out through the end of August. So people are wanting to actually see this film as it was originally shot and intended. So I think that actually is going to have a couple to pull. And I think it's going to be more residuals in the long run that the Odyssey ends up getting. Because and even people are sharing their 4DX experiences. And that's now a whole new thing that's probably going to change the scope of theater going altogether. I mean, it already started to, but now it's getting more intense, like more, putting you in the movie like you're there.
Let's hope, right?
I've seen something recently with Harry Potter that's like a very immersive movie experience like that, actually.
There we go. Okay, I got my review ready to go, and I put a link in. It's actually 2 new Star Trek series announced. Like, those are the 2 new ones, but what's in the announcement is it's going to be, I believe, Star Trek Universe. No, they're doing something different there. Okay. Yeah, this is about the 2 new webtoons that they're doing. Damn, let me see here.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it. Doomcock just reported it though, so.
So pull out the salt shakers and
Yeah.
the tequila.
All right. Yeah, I don't have images yet. It looks like this is still in the rumor mill.
Okay.
So we'll keep this in the rumor zone.
Sounds good.
But the good news is there is confirmed life for Trek after Kurtzman.
Yep. John 005 coming in the pre-game chat saying, hello all, hope you all are well. I have not yet watched Spider Noir 1 and 2. Will you watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, the new film? Honestly, it's very possible.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
That comes out this week too. We might have to do a double feature in Miami or something. Yeah, we'll see. Welcome, John. Good to see you.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I have found that the Spider-Man movies have been the best that the MCU's had to offer for a while.
Really are definitely the stronger points. I will agree with you there. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has Spider-Man. Tom Holland Spider-Man has been
Spider-Man. I like that. I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, appropriate way to talk about Spider Noir or Spider-Man.
I feel like that works somehow. Like I don't quite get how it works, but I know it does.
I don't either, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh. I feel like whoever takes over for J. Jonah Jameson, that's how they should talk. No?
It could work. I mean...
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Like an Alex Jones conspiracy nutter type, but sounds like a combination of Southern and Englishman.
Yeah. And like what I would like his Alex Jones level take on Spider-Man to be like all the, you know, the like Spider-Man stuff that happens behind the scene, behind the public's view. Like there are multiple Spider-Men out there, and you know, there's a full multiverse, and they go to space occasionally and like all that sort of stuff. Like he's on all of it, but everyone thinks it's nonsense. But it is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, like the black suit Spider-Man was originally an alien. You know, it was Spider-Man coded by an alien, and everyone's like, "Yeah, okay, buddy, whatever."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Spider-Man coded with an alien, right? That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, all right, man, sure, you know.
All right, and here we
Go. God, now I want to write that comic.
do it. Tonight, we are gonna set our clocks back to the 1950s, so to speak, and check out Spider Noir. We're also gonna give our initial thoughts on the Odyssey, as well as everything else going on in the entertainment industry on tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence podcast. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. There it is. Welcome to tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence podcast. I'm Petey York, joined by Corione and, of course, Pollo Zapatos. We also are joined by John Double... Oh, and, of course, the lovely H. Marie. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right. And, of course, John 005 already saturating the chat, checking in with us, and, yeah. We are, of course, tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence podcast. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a podcast where we give you our honest takes and our honest information of what we think is going on, stuff we're excited for, stuff we're skeptical of, stuff we're, you know, hesitant about, whatever it may be for whatever reason. Talk for about 2 hours, and then we also go into a deep dive about some of our favorite shows and movies that we're watching. This week, we will be talking about Spider Noir episode 1 and 2, and we will also be talking about the Odyssey. And next week, it's looking like, let's see if I can find the music. Next week, it's looking like we are going to be getting into probably Spider-Man Brand New Day, or at the very least, one of us on this panel will be getting into Spider-Man Brand New Day. You see, not all of us catch up on the homework right away. We all, like you watching, have normal-ass lives. We would like our normal-ass lives to one day be doing pop culture podcasts 3 to 4 nights a week, talking about this stuff with you guys more in depth. But we got to get there one little baby step at a time. So for now, we're just happy to be here once a week to talk about pop culture. And for that once a week, we're going to give you the best quality show that we can. And you know, hopefully give you guys some honest, true perspective. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, our agenda is for you to maybe learn something new, maybe consider something from, you know, a perspective you hadn't thought of it before, or maybe maybe teach us something, because it does happen that people bring information in the comments and we learn things, believe it or not. Yeah, no real agenda here but the truth on this network. So yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. John says, I was going to ask if you already talked about the Odyssey 2026. No, we have not. We have put that off until this week, and it might also extend into next week. Man, we're going to have a big discussion next week. All kinds of
But don't worry, I got you on the Odyssey, fam. I got you.
Yeah, he's got to sell us on it. We want to see it. It's just... with rent taken down at the end of the month, I gotta, make choices and, plan trips like a financially smart and conscious adult surviving in 2026. So, yeah. With that, let's get into the news block.
Yeah, hit it.
All right, this from IGN. Everything leaks. Avatar: Aang, The Last Airbender director addresses early concept photo leaks Comic-Con 2026. While showing off an early concept photo of the aged-up Team Avatar at a San Diego Comic-Con panel on Tuesday afternoon, Avatar: Aang, The Last Airbender director Lauren Montgomery recalled one of the film's earliest leaks in a rollout that's been plagued by unfortunate leaks. The image in question was what Montgomery called the Avengers shot, with the characters posing together, that leaked out of CinemaCon in 2024 before it was taken down. This was one of the very first funny stories about this image. We had a version of this image, exact same painting. The characters looked a little bit different, Montgomery said. Our production designer, Jake, was never really happy with it. And then Paramount comes to us and says, we want to go to CinemaCon. Jake is like, absolutely not. It's going to leak. They're like, no, it'll be fine. It won't leak. Everything's safe. Everything leaks. Jake's like, well, if they're going to leak it, I'm going to repaint the whole thing. And he did. And it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. And we've used this image a lot of times, and of course it leaked. Cell phone camera footage of it from weird angle, and then it's used as, like, official artwork and freaking interviews and posts everywhere. So, good time.
Let's, do we want to watch the trailer?
For what?
Aang, it's up there.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh, yeah, that is the trailer. Oh, I thought this was just pictures of the leak. But yes.
Or if not, I've got a link directly to the San Diego Comic-Con trailer. Just posted it in the Chitty chat things.
All right, let me see.
It's the bottom one.
Ah, okay. Then, yeah, we should definitely, as tradition dictates,
let's hit it.
Let's switch over to the trailer. And let me get the music quieted.
Agreed.
I'm the last airbender.
You may be the last airbender, but you're not alone.
I'm the Avatar. I found allies from every nation. And together, we ended the 100-Year War.
Aang, because of you, all of the nations live together. In peace and harmony.
All except mine. An airbender.
My senses tell me this guy is pretty attractive.
What does attractive even mean?
Just give me a straight confirmation. Is he attractive?
He's very attractive. Huh? What? He is. It's all in the bone structure.
Hey,
That's fair.
you and I can heal the past. And together, we can build a new world.
Welcome to Team Avatar.
How many countless were killed in the 100 years waiting for his return? If we want anything to change, we need what the Benders have. Power.
This isn't the way! We can bring back balance! Peace! I promise you I'll fix it.
We'll fix it. Together.
Looks solid.
Yeah. I mean, plenty could go wrong there.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, of course,
at
the end, they say, thank you, fans, for your dedication and your passion. Oh, that's nice.
That, hey, they know where their bread is buttered. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So.
Definitely. John, what are your thoughts?
I have a very loud house, but the visuals look very awesome.
Well, yeah, you'll just have to turn it up, turn it up a bit loud. Let's see. John 005 says, did I miss something by not seeing an IMAX? I saw it in regular digital cinema. I'm one of the in the Canadian city with no real IMAX. We might have a Limax, maybe. I think I got away with the. Got away a moment. Sorry, guys. That's fine. No. So real quick, just to talk about it. So there's only about 30 IMAX, and by true IMAX, I mean analog 70 millimeter, projectors that can play the 70 millimeter film. There's only about 30 in the world, and the one near my home, that's like still 130 miles away, is booked solid all the way through. Oh, I just realized the music's stupid loud. Is booked solid.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I've got one of the Limax here where it's
Right.
IMAX.
Digital
but,
IMAX. Yes.
Yeah, but
that's what
digital
I'm
IMAX.
probably going to have to do myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to at least right away. And that is what it is. It's part of the new part of the well, we're going to talk about it when we get there. In a bit. All right, turning now to the Hollywood Reporter. Marvel Lanterns and Johnny Depp. Here's what he had missed at Comic-Con 2026. Yeah, from Doomsday to Spaceballs to Blade Runner 2099 to DC Comics Eisner's Sweep. Here's what generated buzz in San Diego. Marvel. David Johnson, starring in Black Panther 3 as the son of King T'Challa. Great choice. Ryan Gosling joining the MCU as the new Ghost Rider. Great choice. Plus, the Avengers Doomsday sizzle reel shown in the room was also an improvement upon the muddled and artificial-looking teaser trailer. Robert Downey Jr. assured EW the movie is absolutely fantastic. Page 6 just reported that he's making $100 million for Doomsday and Secret Wars, so the man better say it's fantastic.
Right.
Duh. Lanterns says, after dealing with some silly controversy, because now there always is, HBO showed a new trailer for its upcoming Green Lantern drama that was way better than what fans had previously seen. Oh, Corian, if we could find that, maybe take a look at it.
There's a link right in there.
Where
it says, showed a new trailer? In the article?
There. Okay, yeah. You'll see the server's upcoming. All right, they're saying it's better. Well, let's take a look and see if it's better. Okay. Lanterns reveals blah blah blah.
It did it not load it? If it didn't, I'll find it.
There we go. I had to scroll all the way down.
Okay. Usually, I'm pretty good about picking
time to get up, Junior.
Have the trailer attached somewhere.
I also just realized I have to bring you guys over to the tab first. Then we play. Then we begin screaming. Slightly.
It's time to get up, Junior.
Yeah.
So, you're a space cop.
No, I'm just being trained.
All right, new lesson. Take the ring. You fly.
Just fly.
I'm sorry. Fly, please. What's that?
You're the backup quarterback.
For now. What do you think is going on?
It's no accident we're here. These victims are gonna end up being alien.
Based on what?
I have a feeling.
He has a feeling.
I think this is more than just a feeling.
This is a threat no one's ever seen before.
What do you know about manhunters?
Where'd you hear that word?
Ooh.
Manhunters are the most dangerous beings to ever exist in the galaxy. And it could take the form of any species.
So it could be anyone.
He's gonna send an army to put you down.
Do you resent Pal Jordan?
The ring's always been mine. Jordan's just keeping it warm.
Sinestro.
You don't really believe he's your backup, do you, Hal?
No.
Let's say what he actually is.
My replacement. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. How about a beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the article was pretty right on its assertion that that was a significant improvement overall.
Yeah. I mean, it does have like a weird Training Day vibe right now.
Right.
So I'll have
I'm
to
gonna
see.
be honest. I feel like that was teasing an introduction to Martian Manhunter.
A little bit.
I could see that they were, probably alluding to that. Actually, I can see where you're coming.
And not only that,
isn't
but,
Martian a manhunter?
No, it is. It's Martian Manhunter. That's his name.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there it is.
He's from Mars, and he's the only one of his kind who chose to stop the eating. But like the Manhunter title is a lot closer to the Predator than it is like eating people.
Yeah, basically the Manhunters were originally created by the dudes from OA to be the original space cops, but they kind of went all homicidal.
Okay.
So and thus basically the Green Lantern Corps was formed.
Okay. John 005 says, "Oh, the new Johnny Depp. I have not watched any of the Christmas Carol. Don't know where to start." Well, kind of like the Odyssey, there's no real place to start. People just kind of tell a version of it. So there's like the Patrick Stewart version. There's
the Muppet version.
There's a Muppet version. There's even a Peter Capaldi version now, and I think like there's all kinds.
There's the Bill Murray version
Bill
called
Murray.
Scrooged.
I don't know if the Simpsons ever did Scrooge. Like I know they allude to him, and they sort of like parody Scrooge on the. No, they parody Scrooge in the show, and then Homer doesn't get the message right, and he ends up stealing all the presents, thinking that it's a whole fucking thing. So yeah, the point is, there's nowhere to really start. You could the best place to start would probably be to read the original short story by Charles Dickens, and then, or is it a novel? Either way,
it's a short novel.
The original novella by Charles Dickens, and that would probably be the best and really only place you need to start if you don't know the story that well. Otherwise, the Bill Murray version. That's like a modern sort of that one's really
it's a modern take. It's hilarious.
That was it's a Bill Murray movie. Come on, guys, where are you gonna go wrong with that? Nowhere. That's where. All right, so back to it then. All right, the highs and lows of Comic-Con. Carrie, there have been many attempts to remake Brian De Palma's 1976 supernatural teen hit, and it seems Stephen King's current adapter-in-chief, Mike Flanagan, might have finally cracked it. Flanagan, making his first appearance at the convention, debuted a terrific trailer that updates King's first published novel into an 8-episode series for Prime Video. Flanagan said the series will reflect how bullying has evolved over the years, and that the iconic prom scene will have twists you won't see coming.
I mean, Carrie's been a classic horror movie for a long period of time. It's hard to screw up a good horror story. So,
yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, much has been made of Depp returning from the cancellation depths to star in his first major studio film in years with Paramount's upcoming Ebenezer. Its poster tagline, "Before he was Scrooge, he was Ebenezer," inspired by a Reddit thread dredging up the worst movie marketing taglines of all time. Depp made appearances in full costume as the Charles Dickens character, interacting with fans who shouted their love for the actor. A surprise crashing of a directors on directing panel to unveil the first trailer for the T West film went a bit pear-shaped, however, as Depp turned his planned very brief bit into something longer, weirder, and more awkward.
Which, I mean, to be fair, is kind of his.
That's
whole
what he does,
shtick.
though. Still, it's hard to see Depp's appearance as anything less than a cultural victory lap for an actor edging back into the spotlight. I would have to completely agree. I don't think that there was an actual link for the trailer here, but that's...
No, I haven't been able to find the trailer online yet,
Oh.
so I'm sure they're going to release it eventually.
All right. Here, of course, is the...
Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.
Yes. Amazon MGM Studios held a Hall H panel for Spaceballs, the new one, the highly anticipated sequel coming next April. The reclusive Rick Moranis, who reprises his role of Dark Helmet, received a standing ovation from the crowd. And yes, I saw the clips across TikTok and Facebook.
Yeah.
Watching him come back. Actually, let's see if one of you guys could try to find one of those clips. That would be awesome.
And I mean, let's be clear. It's not that he's particularly reclusive.
Right.
He lost his wife. His wife was sick for a long time. He lost his wife, and he has kids. He has a kid with. My understanding is he has a kid with a developmental delay.
Right.
And so he spends most of his time being a dad.
Yep.
And I can't fault him for that at all. And like the level of care and whatnot he does is amazing.
Yep. Yeah. And of course, why is GTA 6 trailer 3 trending?
Here we go.
Okay. No, there is no... Trailer 3 will drop in 2028.
Right.
All right. Sorry, I thought we were going to have some breaking news, but we did not have any breaking news. What did you get?
I got Rick Moranis at Comic-Con.
All right. That's what I'm seeing here.
Posting. Stand by. Launched.
All right. I'm going to put it up. Put it up here.
Spot.
Yes. Yeah. This is definitely going to be worth watching. Oh, I should probably do... Come on. Do it right, stupid. All right. This.
Spotted on a Spaceballs panel not so far away.
Oh, I guess Entertainment Tonight's going to take this one for us.
The man behind Dark Helmet, 73-year-old 80s icon Rick Moranis, revealed himself. 39 years later, it was the crowd that couldn't catch their breath.
I can't breathe in this thing!
I started talking to Mel about the sequel in 1989, and I really wasn't retired. I was just negotiating.
Spaceballs 2, the search for more money.
Of course, E.T. was on set of the original Spaceballs.
I'm playing the character of Dark Helmet. Somewhat like Darth Vader, but he has a much bigger helmet.
Also reprising their roles, a 100-year-old original writer, Mel Brooks, and a 63-year-old ageless Daphne Zuniga, who reveals how Princess Vespa has evolved.
It's good to be the queen!
Lone Star Bill Pullman is also back alongside his 33-year-old real-life son, Lewis Pullman, who takes on the role of Starburst. And Keke Palmer revealed this about her new character, Destiny.
And I really loved playing her.
Spaceballs, the new one, hits theaters April 23rd. Co-writer and co-star Josh Gad cleared up one big rumor.
I am not playing Barf in this movie, okay?
Your full name. Bartholomew.
There's another gentleman named John Candy. That is a role that is singularly played and will ever be played by one person. Joe Rivers, Scott Matrix. All of these beloved folks are represented in some way in our film.
May the Schwartz be with you!
Aw.
Thank you, Entertainment Tonight, the original entertainment information intelligence podcast. Used to watch them all the time, so I guess it's just appropriate that we're kind of following in their footsteps, isn't it, John?
Fair.
Yeah, so that was a pretty decent overview, but yeah, watching some of the clips, you can actually see where he gets a standing ovation from the crowd and just a long, warm welcome back into the limelight. And yes, truly, honestly, Rick is an inspirational figure to us all in so many ways for choosing fatherhood over fame. I think that is a huge, and not an easy choice to make. And you know what?
Yeah.
It didn't have to be a permanent one, so. All
No.
right, so back to the highs and lows of San Diego Comic-Con. Spaceballs 2, obviously a big high. All right, Blade Runner 2099. Speaking of hiding the ball, Amazon MGM has been quiet about this project, and last week dropped the trailer and November premiere date. The trailer has garnered divided reactions online, but it's pretty unfair to compare a TV project visually to two of the most stunning-looking films of all time. Blade
Yeah.
Runner, and yeah, I have to agree. I mean, that's... Even though a lot of TV budgets have been spectacularly blockbuster size, those were, you know, special instances of risks that were taken that didn't really pay off. So,
And I mean, like, yeah, like look, first, I respect that we're getting a Blade Runner TV series because there's a lot to cover in the Blade Runner universe that I think could be very interesting.
I agree.
You know, the fact that, you know, they had to right size it for TV means, yeah, you're not going to get some of the crazy visuals.
Right.
That's okay. That's reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. Star Trek. There's no franchise with a longer and more beloved history at San Diego Comic-Con than Star Trek, so to not have anything Trek would have been disappointing for fans, but we're in the middle of Paramount's much-discussed Star Trek production drought, or rather the changing of the guard, with nothing in the works on the TV side for the first time in many years. News from the panel was pretty much non-existent unless you count a new cadet joining Starfleet Academy before it's canceled after Season 2, or a premiere date for a 3-minute animated YouTube series. So for now, the franchise still feels trapped in space dock. And
now, I do have rumors that have been circulated online. There's very credible sources that are claiming that Star Trek is getting a new live action series. It's going to be outside of the Kurtzman universe. They're going back to the original timeline, the Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager original series timeline. Only they're going to evolve it. So this is going to be post the Dominion War. And in fact, a little bit beyond that. And it's going to be a faithful continuation of the original universe. So we're out of Kurtzman Trek, basically, and we're into the golden timeline, if you will.
yeah, no, I had heard, now I haven't heard anything since. These sources were a bit more official, but the news is still old. I could look into it right now, but honestly, I don't think we're going to see any updates, especially after that little start. I mean, if there wasn't any updates to say at Comic-Con, then that means that
There isn't a formal update yet.
There isn't any there isn't anything new as of yet. But last I had heard was that as of the official ending of Kurtzman Trek, that that Secret Hideout's not getting their contract renewed, and that has officially happened now, as what I understand.
Yep.
So they're done. It's the one of the pitches was to bring back Scott Bakula, who is very interested in returning to Star Trek, as he would be Admiral Archer at that point, and basically going through, or well, no, he would be President Archer. Of the United Federation of Planets, and the show title, the working title is Star Trek United. And basically the entire idea was that they were going to do, Archer building the Federation, and then they were going to have Daniels come in and help explain a few things that may have happened over the last few years, and that basically Star Trek United was going to then put the prime timeline original, how we got to William Shatner's Kirk in perspective,
back into place,
and basically show that the whole, Michael Burnham thing was just a result of the temporal Cold War and not like part of the prime Star Trek universe and all that, which I have to agree, because
that would be cool.
It leaves it as its own thing, which is what it should have clearly tried to be. That was the reason that Star Trek 2009 worked so well, was because it did not try to reboot Star Trek by being the original Star Trek. It tried to reboot Star Trek by being its own Star Trek. And that would have worked had there been a better, more coherent plan, but there wasn't. And so here we are now. But back to the good news. Eva Mendes reacts to husband Ryan Gosling's Ghost Rider casting. It seems Eva Mendes also felt that her husband Ryan Gosling would be the perfect man to take on Ghost Rider. So when it was revealed at Comic-Con 2026 over the weekend that the Oscar-nominated actor would be the next person jumping on the Hell Cycle, Mendes was clearly elated. The actress and businesswoman took to Instagram on Sunday to offer her reaction to the news. She reposted a fan-edited video of the opening scene of The Place Beyond the Pines, which starred both Gosling and Mendes, with the text displayed on the clip, "From this intro only, I thought Ryan Gosling can be perfect casting for Ghost Rider role." Well, that's good. So,
yeah,
I agree with this casting. I mean, this doesn't feel like, it kind of feels like they're looking at Ryan Gosling to be the savior of IPs. We got him coming up in Starfighter, which I'm really looking forward to that. And we've also got, now he's going to show up in Ghost Rider. But I honestly think if anyone to play Ghost Rider after Nicolas Cage, couldn't have picked anyone better.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. I do.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Next piece. Children of Blood and Bone trailer reveals all-star cast for film adaptation of Tomi Adeyemi's bestseller. The first trailer for the much-anticipated big-screen adaptation of Tomi Adeyemi's best-selling novel, Children of Blood and Bone, has been revealed, and in it we get a proper look at the all-star cast in the Africa-set fantasy drama.
So the basic piece of this is kind of like, it's not quite a Africa Hogwarts, but it's that kind of era.
Yeah.
The trick is Tomi, the author, was originally courted by Kathleen Kennedy. So this was originally going to be Lucasfilm. And Tomi shot her down eventually.
Okay.
And was like, no, you don't get it. You're being stupid about this. Then it got sold to the current producers, and Tomi was invited to see what was going on set and to read the screen adaptation, and she officially pulled her endorsement of it. She doesn't like the movie. She's pulling a who's the guy who wrote V for Vendetta?
Alan Moore.
Yeah, she's pulling an Alan Moore.
Okay.
So I thought this might be interesting from the, hey, look, it's modern Alan Moore.
Right. All right.
Minus the wizardry.
Yeah, right. Well, let's take a look at the trailer.
Big energy. All this good energy got you all in your feelings. Big energy.
My daughter, you must not be afraid. Orisha was once a land where magic flowed through our people. You were born with a gift greater than you know. But those who feared our power took it away from us.
I know you miss her. Your powers may be gone, but that does not change who you are.
Magic is a festering disease. Purge it!
Heed my words. You are the future king.
What if that is not the kind of king I want to be?
For years, I have trained you. Because I believe you are the one. You can bring magic back.
Hold up, wait. Look around, everybody on mute. Hold up, wait. Look around, it's me and my crew. Big energy, big energy. All this good energy got you all in your feelings. Big energy, big energy.
They're looking to you to lead them.
All this good energy got you all in your feelings. Big energy.
She has the ability to annihilate us all.
Big energy.
You have unraveled me.
Big energy.
No mercy! You must strike!
All these years, we believed the gods abandoned us.
Oh, my child. They were waiting for you.
So before we get too deep into it, I just want to say this. One of the things that we on the Writer Brothers have been pushing for, one is new stories, and two, one of the things we've also been pushing for is please, please, please plumb the mythologies of, Central and South Africa, because they are a rich cultural heritage that we have not been exposed to nearly enough in the West. Well, guess what, guys? There it is.
I mean, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it. I just can't relate to any of the characters, being that, it's mostly women. And on top of that, they're women that are, that they don't look like me. So I can't, find anything to...
Come on.
No. Not gonna come on. I'm gonna watch this thing because it looks cool. It's got a fascinating. It looks fascinating. It has my interest for many reasons, and all the cultural originality and based on. And we'll find out how much it's actually based on. I mean, I'm curious as to how many Nigerian princes are now gonna flood my spam inbox with talking about how this movie is a bastardization of culture. Send me $10 million to make up for it or whatever. And the author of the original book's already unsatisfied with the product, which I guess I'll have to read the book now too on top of it to find out, because that looks badass. I'm not gonna now I am being truthful. That looks awesome. It's very it looks to be good. That's the word I'm looking for. But I think at the very least it'll be a good... it'll be a good movie to watch, talk about, give an honest review on like we always do. And we want to see more of this kind of stuff that we see, More original cultural adaptations of cool stuff. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
And now back to the Avatar news. Avatar 7 Havens gets premiere release date and teaser trailer. We will definitely watch the teaser trailer. I guess we'll have to watch it on Tiny Vision. Okay.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, this is the Avatar series set post Korra.
Yeah. So. Oh, right. This is the one. Right. So. Yeah, we'll read it. All right, so Avatar 7 Havens launches exclusively on Paramount Plus on October 9th. Paramount Plus announced the release date alongside a teaser trailer at the Avatar Aang The Last Airbender panel at San Diego Comic-Con on 2026 today, with today being July 23rd. 7 Havens is the new 26 episode... 7 Havens is the new... I'm sorry, am I reading this correctly? 26 episodes?
Yeah!
Holy shit, a whole 2.5 seasons.
It's a real season. Can somebody please confirm the temperature in hell right now?
This is insane. What? 26 episodes.
I don't want to burst any bubbles, but that says 26 episode 2D animated series.
Yeah.
Which means I think it is one season, 26 episodes for the whole
Okay.
season.
Oh.
But it's still a full season?
That's true.
All right.
This is the first one season that
Damn
is
it.
out, but also it could be
I see what you're saying,
broken up
John.
into multiple seasons.
We're just gonna do them all at
13
once. Yeah, no, none of this 10
We don't know that for sure, unfortunately.
2 seasons
26
of
can
10
be broken a
episodes and a
couple
last season of 6 crap. No, we're just doing one season of 26 episodes.
Been done before, and Paramount Plus is not exactly known for being fruitful.
Well, no, that's the Star Trek Strange New Worlds release schedule. Is seasons 1 through 4 got 10 episodes, and season 5 gets a whole 6 episodes. And yeah, whereas Seth MacFarlane was given 16 episodes, he decided to condense to 10, but utilized the same amount of time he was given for production. So he gave us like 3 movies at the end of season 3. Which was appropriate, given it was a Star Trek show.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, what were you saying, Corey?
No, I'm just... Hey, man, we might get lucky. This might be like a return to actual seasons. Like
26 episodes.
Let me have hope here. Let me have this.
I know. Even if it is just one
Here's
season.
the biggest issue that I have with the fact that, especially Paramount and Peacock and stuff like that, Peacock actually still does run some of their stuff for the full 20. I actually think just Love Island season, whatever they're on, was 31 episodes or 32 episodes. And one of the things that really frustrated me about Disney Plus and a lot of the Star Wars series is that they're actually exactly 10 weeks long. So you have to pay for the second month after the subscription. But if you think about it, 26 episodes is closer to 3 months, and they could have just been making more money on those subscriptions because people are like, yeah, I'm gonna cancel this 2 more months from now when my show is over, and then I'll come back when season 2 comes back, and that's 3 months rather than only 1 month.
Right, so that's 3
Disney
months.
Plus.
You can get another show going to try to keep them going, which is what they
And
tried
that's
to
the
do
whole
with
bait and hook is literally what all of these channels could have done this whole freaking time. And just now they're like, wait a minute. We could have convinced them to stay for 3 months this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
We should try that out. And it's dude, we were hooked on 26 episodes. Netflix was doing 10 because Netflix used to be poor.
Not just that,
but you guys all switched to 10 too. Now Netflix is yeah, I guess we'll do 10.
10 episodes makes perfect sense in the serialized format that they were doing those episodes in, though, because they were giving us Daredevil, for example, all at once. And so that's a lot of content to drop, but that's how that story was supposed to be digested, not necessarily dripped. I like the hybrid model. I like 2 episodes a week, get a couple of good chunks of entertainment in to talk about. That's why we're going to talk about Spider Noir here soon. And so, yeah, but 26 episodes, yeah, that's 26 weeks of content for us to cover. And I'm, of course, looking forward to it because I've still got to finish Korra, but this is the one that takes place afterwards. So, yeah, it revolves around a young earthbender who discovers she's the new avatar after Korra in a world shattered by devastating cataclysm. In this dangerous era, that title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior. Hunted by both human and spirit enemies, she and her long-lost twin must uncover their mysterious origins and save the 7 Havens before civilization's last strongholds collapse. Take a quick look at it via X right now.
Alora needs to be prepared. Because long ago, our ancestors weren't. And the Avatar let us down.
Why do you look like me?
Humanity is not ready for the Avatar's return. And yet, it's the one thing this world needs the most.
All right.
Well, it could
Little
probably-
skimpy on the details, but I'll dig it.
Could potentially finally vindicate Korra in the direction they took the story in there. Let's see. Oh, that's, yeah, they don't have an actual video of it, but let's see. We already talked about that. Yeah, this should be a fun story to talk about. If you're a fan of the movie Weapons, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this one. Zach Kreger is ready to work his magic with the prequel to Weapons that will focus on breakout character Gladys. During Collider's Directors on Directing panel at San Diego Comic-Con on Thursday, the filmmaker shared his status update on the planned feature follow-up to his 2025 horror hit that won Amy Madigan the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for her role as Aunt Gladys. The Hollywood Reporter previously reported that Kreger and Zach Shields are penning the script for the project that is in development at New Line Cinema with the working title, Gladys. First of all, I'm really excited about the Gladys movie, and I love working with Amy, Kreger told the crowd. I love that character for the movie Weapons. It really made a lot of sense not to dive into her backstory because the device of Weapons was to keep her very mysterious, end quote. He added, quote, however, there's an amazing story to be told about where Gladys comes from and how she became what we know her as. It's got a lot of twists and turns and mysteries and crazy things like Weapons does. I think it's going to be great. The script is in progress now, but we're taking that super seriously, and it's moving in the right direction. So yeah, it's being written is the short answer, end quote. Oh, I forgot to pop the article back on, but that's okay. But yeah, there you have it. Thoughts, Corion?
I mean, I think it's an interesting situation there. Like, Weapons was good. I don't know how I'm going to feel about the prequel, though. I feel like Weapons should have been a one and done. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Sean Austin says he had to sell his house due to low pay from Lord of the Rings. Sean Austin, who played Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings trilogy, has revealed that he had to sell his house at the time because he didn't make enough money. During a recent interview with The Guardian, Aston, who now serves as the national president of the Actors Union SAG-AFTRA, opened up about finding fame in the early 2000s when the Peter Jackson-directed film franchise became a global phenomenon, grossing $2.9 billion at the worldwide box office. I was not prepared for that level of visibility and access, Aston admitted, and there was a disconnect between the attention that I was getting and how much money we had. It was not a lot of money. In fact, I had to sell my house because I negotiated such a small amount on the trilogy, the actor added. He previously shared on the Jim and Sam show that in 2017 he earned $75,000 a movie, which would make his salary for the whole trilogy around $250,000. I mean, I guess in movie terms that's kind of low, but if I got paid $75,000 to pretend to be somebody else, I would probably make the best of it and try to get another job doing that same thing.
I think it's more in terms of time on set. Didn't it take something like 3 years per movie?
18 months was the total film schedule.
Okay, so if you divide 75,000 by 18,
No,
that's what he's
18
making
was the
monthly.
total for all three films. So 250,000 was for 18 months of work.
For 18 total months billed. Yeah. I feel like that's your bad for not buying a house you can afford.
I know, right? Like,
especially when that, like he just said, like that was one of his first movies. Like
that. Well, as other people pointed out, it was like Rudy was the only one he was kind of, known for. But even then, people didn't really know who he was. And it was really his role as Samwise Gamgee that really got him noticed and started getting him additional work after the fact, and still kind of gets.
And not only like did other people, he just made that note. Like before then, he was an up and coming, starting out, probably a D-lister.
Now that said,
he became an A-lister,
right?
But like,
well,
yeah, of course, a guy who went from making $250,000 for one trilogy and then probably made millions on his next 4 contracts is going to be like, yeah, I made very little. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, despite
I've
becoming
never
one
made
of the
$250,000 for 18 months work.
Despite becoming one of the highest grossing film series of all time, Elijah Wood, who played Frodo Baggins, told Business Insider last year the production company New Line Cinema took a real gamble financially, filming all 3 movies at once. As a result, the ensemble cast did not receive massive salaries. Because we weren't making one movie and then renegotiating a contract for the next, it wasn't the sort of lucrative scenario that you could sort of rest easy for the rest of your life, Would explain. Okay, but like, I get what you guys are, what they're saying here, but if you don't get taxed...
Honestly, I feel like this is where it's weird that, like, in a lot of cases, a lot of singer-songwriters get a gratuity for every play. But, like, for some reason, New Line's taking all this risk, and they didn't even grant, like, a gratuity clause. Like, if you guys do make this amount of money, you'll always get a point.
That's also kind of their fault for not asking for it in the first place.
But if you hear, like, the whole scenario, it's like, it seems like they engineered a situation in which this would happen. Like, they chose young, new up-and-comers.
Yeah.
And then they leveraged their... Peter Jackson's goal of doing 18 months into 100% gain for them because they didn't have to spend money on the prequels and, like they said, renegotiations on the actual movies being made later with new sets and new people that have been paid more.
Well, guys, let's also remember that Peter Jackson was not getting paid for Lord of the Rings until
see, like, this really does feel like New Line was 100% shady and shitty.
Yeah, like Peter Jackson wasn't getting paid until until they tried to approach him for The Hobbit, and he said, "You guys still owe me an epic ton of money for the previous movies. Why would I work with you again?" And they wound up having to pay Peter Jackson off in order to get him onto the next set.
And that's exactly what it sounds like happened to everybody else.
Yeah.
Which again is like, oh, that's why they unionized.
Well, that is why they unionized, but
do
it's
this
also
to yourself. When you act shady, people decide we're gonna grab flashlights and walk around as a group.
Right. But the other thing is, like, nobody thought with the unique production schedule that was like no other film had done this or has done it since for some reason, which Dune.
No, this makes sense exactly why, dude. Do you see how none of the actors got paid? Now every new actor has learned from their mistake. Even the director didn't get paid.
That's because they agreed to the conditions of the contract without, applying or negotiating residuals or seeing the writing on the wall. Like, if I was being tapped for production... So, like, if I was being tapped for Oppenheimer or the Odyssey...
Right, but... That's also like knowledge after the fact. 2020 Monday morning, like this is Monday morning quarterbacking to the point to the guy who's now the union president of SAG-AFTRA is like, no, I learned my lesson. That's why I run the gang. Like I grabbed the union because they're going to make sure this doesn't happen to any other new kids that come swinging into the door. And it's like, okay, more than anything, all I've heard is justification for union. And like now all of their strikes make even more sense because like if New Line did this to one of the greatest trilogies of all time, like despite not getting paid, they still worked like they were getting paid billions because their acting is top notch. The movie is an instant classic. And then also at the same time, like turns out they didn't get paid for it. Like unlike George Lucas, where he was smart enough to have the forethought to actually maintain international merchandising rights. Star Wars has made him a shit ton of money forever and always, but like that's again one guy who thought that through. In a world where it's like, no, shady is actually part of the job. Like, A, you have to act like different people to be good at acting, and then B, like,
Gotta make a valid point
all of
there.
the people around you wished they were actors, but all they are good at is being shady. And so now suddenly it's like a liar's house of den, like a liar's house, and all run by liars. And now you're like, well, you should have known better. And it's like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. That guy got taken advantage of by somebody who clearly knew better.
Yeah, well, and there's also the issue of I forgot to do the Spider-Noir poster. Forget it. We'll do it next week.
But I mean, look, I kind of buy, like, I kind of get both sides. Like, yes, he probably should have been more careful with his money, but yes,
I'm not even
they
saying
should have actually
careful
paid
with
him for
his money.
for
No,
what he was
I'm
worth.
saying that more careful with the contracts you agreed to.
Why wasn't there residuals for the bet?
How
Like,
did
if
not-
they're saying we're taking all this risk, here's the payoff. Like,
oh,
I get that the kids don't ask for it, but even like Peter Jackson did ask for it, and he was like, I won't work with you again until I get it.
Yeah,
and he actually
well,
stood by
the
that.
the Hollywood accounting for that trilogy is amazing. Apparently, it didn't make any money.
Exactly. And we all know that that's bonkers BS. So somebody is literally cheating everybody, down to the taxpayer. Like, they're literally saying that movie that has made so much money in extended cuts, additional re-releases,
The Super Ninja Monkey Edition,
everything, with all of
Video
the, like,
games.
attachments that you could buy at Barnes and Noble to go with it, like the little miniature sets and stuff like that. Apparently, none of that has been taxed.
No, it's a failure of the agents that, sponsored the actors or that represented the actors, or at least the ones that had agents.
No, honestly, this sounds like the most basic version of corporate hiding the money of all time. Like, millions of companies do this every day.
But at what point do you also blame the participant? At what point do you say you still signed your name, you still agreed? Like, I don't feel bad for him at all.
I would agree if it was a one and done situation, but it was the entire cast and the crew and somehow this multinational phenomenon.
Right, but you're
didn't make
missing
any
the
money,
point.
so it was also the American
Everybody
taxpayer.
agreed.
No, but it was also the American taxpayer, which means
John, this
at
isn't
some
some
point
like
there
big
was
trickery.
legitimate fraud committed, and nobody's actually investigated.
Well, there's nothing to investigate. Yes, New Line
seems
Cinema
like there
ripped
might be,
everybody
because
off, but
somehow
everybody
Lord of the
agreed
Rings
to the
didn't
contract.
generate any money.
Well, how about this, guys? We can argue. How about this is the middle ground? Okay, hear me out. Legal douchebaggery is still douchebaggery.
Nobody's disagreeing with that.
There we go.
But we're not going to fight it by, claiming, oh, I was mistreated and I need money now and I deserve more. And it's like,
No,
well,
but
on the one hand, we
that's
could
not
try to
what
make that
Sean-
argument that it should have
that's
been
not what
offered. But on the other
But
hand,
that's not what Sean Astin said. Sean didn't say I need more money now or anything like that. He's saying,
No, he's just talking about
one of
not
the movies that blasted me into my career stratosphere also didn't make me enough money to keep my house.
right, and I'm not accusing him of that. It's just that sometimes
And then-
some of the articles and some of the presenters and bleeding
some of
heart
the-
idiots-
I wouldn't doubt that the authors of the articles are trying to fluff that side of the story up.
Really?
But
You
like,
wouldn't
none of
think
the
that
actors
from the
were
Hollywood
like, I was
Reporter?
swindled. Mostly just writers in general try to like attack the target audience
Feel
to
bad.
drum up emotion. But like even the actors they're not saying like I stopped working with New Line Cinema. Like only Peter Jackson was like, yeah, pay me first and then we'll work. And like that's the legitimate answer is when somebody bullies you, you just stand up for yourself and say, nah, I mean you took advantage of me, but if you pay me for what you did, I can forgive you.
Yeah, then we can have a discussion.
It's amazing that they managed to find actors and not a single one of them, thought that, during this production schedule and the cultural phenomenon that may ensue, to maybe just tack
this
on a
is why-
10% residual.
maybe this is why George Clooney and Brad Pitt aren't in the movie. I mean, this is why all of the major actors of that time aren't in the movie. It's why, what's his name? Hidalgo Mortensen or
Viggo
whatever.
Mortensen?
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo
yeah.
Mortensen, who played in Hidalgo, like he spun out after this. Like he just didn't care that much for acting.
No, he also showed up in The Road, and he did several other movies. They were just smaller, productions. He didn't go for the big career.
No,
like
like,
Bloom
even in
did.
his like after notes, like I remember watching his commentary for Hidalgo. And he's like, "No, I just like certain movies, and I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do."
Yeah,
and it's like
no,
that's
he's a
what I
method
mean. Like,
actor.
literally, they chose the actors that were not who they are today. Orlando Bloom would never take that deal. I mean, look what happened to Pirates of the Caribbean. Part of it crumbled because he wanted more money, and because of what happened with Lord of the Rings. That's what I mean. I feel like, yes, we can say that actual actors need to take responsibility for their lives. It sounds like most of them did, and so they learned their lesson after this one and done. But it also sounds like New Line Cinema pulled one of the greatest heists.
$250,000 for 18 months of work is pretty freaking great.
I agree, but also in talking about more in terms of like what everybody, like that's one person times every person times now the crew, whatever they were supposed to be paid. But if Peter Jackson wasn't paid, how many other people also weren't paid? How many other parts of the crew and staff weren't paid? That's what I mean by heist. It's like, if it's top down, everybody got screwed to some degree. The amount of screw is greater than the amount of foresight, responsibility on the individuals. And I think that's something to say, but I also think New Line Cinema has paid for that. Like, they didn't have a lot of greats after this.
Oh,
They had
no,
some
they
really
did not.
good films. But
And
more than
even-
anything,
even
they
the- even the
became a
Hobbit.
publishing house. Nobody wanted to work for them until after the movie was done.
They paid off Peter Jackson because they assumed that they were going to make the same money back from The Hobbit that they did Lord of the Rings. That's why they redid everything the same way, the whole
Which is-
production schedules and all that. And it
Hilarious, because they're the ones that said they didn't make any money off of the other Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, and I don't disagree with the points you're making about them being shady and smarmy and whatnot. And I'm like, yeah, but the first thing to do to right the ship is to empower the individuals and get you to guys, no,
Right,
guys,
but
you
they
have
did.
to value yourself. And like I said, $250,000 is still a lot for 18 months of, and also
I
he's a
agree. I
supporting
just also
character. He
think
was
that
not a
residuals. Like, residuals for music makes so much sense because it's not so much about the first viewing at the box office. It's more about the continued, like, I bought this again because I gave it to a partner and they took it. I bought this again because, like, yeah, you can say the studio and the production house are the ones printing the discs, but like discs cost 15 cents, but you're charging $70 for the box.
Yeah,
set.
there's zero
You're
reason
not selling that because you produced
Yeah,
hot shit.
there
You're
is
selling that because you paid actors to produce hot shit.
there is zero reason for there not to be some because the other thing is the residuals and the bonus incentives. That's how you get those people to market. So
Yep.
Not only market, but come back.
Yeah.
You could have had The Hobbit with some of the same cast members. You could have had The Hobbit made by some of the same crews so they could have maintained the actual effort. But instead you cheated and now you lost a lot of good friendships because you cheated people.
all right, it is now time for our ad break. All right, if you are out in the world and want to understand a little bit of Keys culture, there's a couple of different radio stations you can pick. Of course, Pirate Radio being Buffett's station, but I have also got to throw some love out to Whale 99.5, the rock and roll station of the Florida Keys. You guys might remember we used to talk about them fairly often, mainly because, well, they would have us, H. Marie and I, on the radio, and it was a lot of fun, and with no expectation or requirement at all whatsoever, Bill Hobie of the Hobie in the Afternoon Experiment, there he is right there, would give us free publicity, would give us free shout-outs. And at the time he was doing this for us for free, I never thought to return the favor, because why does a guy who gets 300 to 500,000 active listeners need help from 401 of our listeners? I realized that I was overthinking it, and that's not the point, idiot. The whole point is that somebody was promoting us, and we should have been promoting them back. No questions asked. That's it. So, if you like rock music and you want to experience, get a little bit of taste of some of the life that Hannah and I experienced down here, check out will995.com or on your pull them up on iHeartRadio. They've got the Hobie in the Afternoon Experiment from 2 to 7, which is just a lot of fun shenanigans, and also here on will995.com they've also got a music news and all kinds of, they even have a Hollywood news section. Look at that, talking about the stories we were talking about here on the Entertainment Information Intelligence podcast. Food and drink, health and wellness. Oh boy, they just cover it all and rock your faces off with some of the greatest music of all time. All right, so yeah. I didn't have a segue to the next thing from there. All right, exclusive. Coyote vs. Acme is getting a physical home media release with NSFW John Cena outtakes. There are minutes and minutes of stuff that's just not PG. Coyote vs. Acme director Dave Green confirmed to IGN that the film is coming to Blu-ray along with some hilarious outtakes that he describes as not PG rated. We got the chance to chat with Green as well as Coyote vs. Acme star Lana Condor at San Diego Comic-Con, where the two gushed about the hilarious moments that happened when John Cena and Will Forte were on set interacting with the Looney Tunes. John is an amazing improviser, Green said. The camera would keep rolling and he would just love to entertain a room of background actors and make everyone laugh. When you don't call cut, there is minutes and minutes of stuff that's just not PG rated. Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong there? Nothing, obviously.
No, I mean, look, Coyote vs. Acme looks hilarious, and I want to check it out. It looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, right. I thought it was already out for some reason, but I guess not. Okay, let's take a look. Final trailer. Bubble.
Have you ever set a big stack of TNT on the road, hoping to blow up your nemesis, but the detonator itself explodes? Have you ever pulled the ripcord of your parachute and only a bunch of silverware comes out? It's not your fault.
Acme is evil.
You're looking at the guy who is taking on the biggest corporation in the world.
They're suing us for every Acme product.
Acme denies all charges. That is for you. All I gotta do is walk out the store right now. Please don't. This is not funny. I thought cartoons are supposed to be funny.
It's exciting. All eyes on you, ready to show what you got.
Acme has knowingly been making dangerous products for decades.
Is there anyone in the whole world who cares what happened to the coyote at all?
Yeah, I do. He's one of the most hardworking people I've ever met. He would never think of quitting. And I think everyone should be inspired by that.
I don't just want him scared. I want him ruined.
We're all counting on you. Bye. I'm here for the pantsless modeling gig.
What'd you see?
I taught.
He taught you tall? I don't pay you to tink you tall. I pay you to tall.
I did tall.
What did you tee? What did you tall?
Only in theaters August 28th.
Okay, August 28th. I could probably pencil that one in.
I mean,
I don't think
it
I'll
looks
be going to IMAX
hilarious
for that one, but I could definitely.
Tom Jorgensen.
Yeah, like
here
that.
at
That
San Diego
looks like a
Comic-Con.
good, solid popcorn movie.
It does. It does. Absolutely. All right. Tom Holland says he'll play Spider-Man for as long as they'll have me. After Brand New Day. If this movie does good, I guess we'll see. That's funny. This was posted July 27th, 2026, but I'm like 90% certain we've reported a similar story with a similar headline before.
I mean, pretty sure. But, I mean, it's good to see that Tom Holland's still embracing the character.
Absolutely. Michael B. Jordan reacts to David Johnson's Black Panther 3 casting. Michael B. Jordan is finally giving his thoughts on David Johnson being cast as the new Black Panther in Ryan Coogler's upcoming third installment. At Comic-Con 2026 over the weekend, Marvel revealed that Johnson will star as an adult version of the son of T'Challa, portrayed by the late Chadwick Boseman in the 2018 original. Black Panther 3 will also film on 70mm and hit theaters December 15th, 2028. There it is, folks. It has happened. It's official. Nolan has changed the game again. Black Panther 3 is going to be filmed entirely on 70mm. That'll be
I don't think that
superhero
that's
film.
That's a really, really bold move. We'll see how it plays out for him.
I agree, dude.
But if you think about it, like, you guys remember Black Panther 2?
Yeah, no, I skipped that one.
I try to forget it.
There's only the Black Panther, the one, and then this will be the third one, and we'll just call it the second one. But like Grand Theft Auto, you know how Red Dead Revolver?
Like, how can you be so brazen to think Black Panther 3 is 70mm quality? Unless you've got Chris.
John.
Like, did you get Chris to do this one? Because I don't doubt Christopher Nolan can make a great
my
70mm
interest,
Black Panther 3.
My interest in Black Panther 3 while reading this article was here. Now we've gone to here with 70mm. We're gonna just... Humanity's going for it, baby. IMAX is gonna be the new standard for movie going.
I agree in terms of standard, but like for Christopher Nolan films, for Cameron films, for directors that know what they're doing, not Marvel movies that are barely scraping by.
Let me throw the caveat there real quick. There is a bit of a qualifier. The Odyssey, just so you know, is the first feature-length film shot 100% in IMAX. No other movie has been made, not even Cameron's Avatar movies. Cameron's Avatar movies only had scenes in IMAX. Even Oppenheimer was only 75% IMAX. So this is the first time that we've actually had an IMAX movie, not, one that's shot for IMAX where 5 minutes of the film are the full screen and then you're back to your, blown up letterbox. That's why I want to see Odyssey on the true 70mm IMAX, and I'm probably going to have to wait until September to do so. So, but the fact that we're now, you got it right there, John. This is bold as shit. Now all of a sudden we're going to do a superhero film to limit it to 30 screens? I mean... I'm curious.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm interested to see what happens.
Who are they doing this for? Like, 30 screens. That's how you're going to judge your whole budget.
Well,
I do understand that, like, the people that watch movies all the time can notice the extensive difference between an IMAX and a non-IMAX. But, like, me personally, I'm more along the lines of, like, that's not the goal right now. For most of these movies, it should be more about writing a movie theater quality storyline.
Right. So they're going for the biggest theater screen possible.
It's a lot closer to Transformers.
Hold on. Boy, you're also the one that has told me that video game plots don't matter nearly as much as graphics. So, sir, which is this?
Which is wrong, by the way.
I've never once said that. Video game plots matter more than anything else. I'm telling you which games I'll play. Bad graphics will kill me. Like, if I don't like playing games that have great plots with bad graphics. but I would rather
Well,
play
bad graphics is
game.
understandable.
But like, I don't play bad plots, period. So like, if the game doesn't have a great storyline, like this latest Call of Duty.
Didn't you play Halo 5?
No.
Oh, well, good for you.
I played in Infinite for a little bit because I
Infinite
tried
was
the
good.
story, but then the plot killed me, and so I bailed. Like, if the storyline doesn't hook me, I'm not gonna stay for longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's like been a consistent through line for video games and movies. Like, if your movie is killing me within the first 20 minutes, I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna go see if somebody that I like, that I agree with their regular opinions on things, is like, actually the first 20 minutes was a bit of a slog, but then by minute 23 it starts to cook, and I'm like, okay, I'll go press play again. But like the same thing like with video games, it's more like, yeah, the graphics are hard, but if you want a really good story, then you can play this game.
Well, but I think what you also have to realize though too, they're not limiting the viewing to 30 screens. It's you have 30 screens to choose from for seeing it in its true analog 16K. The benefit to shooting it this way is that it's IMAX, digital IMAX, scans it in, and it's good to go forever on every freaking IMAX screen in the world.
But see, that's in the equivalent of saying like, you're not going to enjoy this in its most natural sense.
Whoa, who's saying you're not going to?
No, it's more along the lines of like, this is best made for those that can afford it.
This is best made for those that live near a theater that have it. But you can also still enjoy it in both
the definition can't afford it
IMAX.
If it's not readily available to everyone. If it was made for digital IMAX originally, and then yeah, the 70 millimeters are like, this is pretty great.
That's backward, right? But it doesn't. Anything made for digital IMAX looks like crap on 70 millimeter. That's the problem. That's why they're doing it on 70 millimeter first.
Appreciated rather than all of the other screens being not good enough for this movie.
No one said it's not good enough. Corion, how did you see the Odyssey?
I saw it on digital IMAX.
And what?
And okay, straight up. Are we going to go there now? Because we can go there right now.
I think that would be smart, since then we'll make sure we get your time into it. Since sadly you were the only one that did the homework on it this week. We can switch to Odyssey now.
So the best thing I can say, like the line that I think sums up the movie perfectly is, couldn't you have shown some mercy? Right? The movie is very, very good. Okay. The imagery, everything, the way they set things up, it is good. Now, there are scenes from the books that they do miss, and they do change some of the story points around. So,
I mean, a lot of people who adapt the Odyssey do this.
Right. Like, that's not uncommon. People pick their favorite parts. But some of the parts that they changed, and they changed the ending a little bit too, right? These do, change important parts of the story, in my opinion. But look, as somebody who literally views pieces of the Odyssey as part of the mythology for their culture, this is an incredibly well done version.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, they've taken the best that I think they can get away with and done it. Nolan's Cyclops looks real. Like, Polyphemus looks real. The interactions with the gods look really good. Okay? The components with Cersei are amazing. Okay? There are a couple of jokes we have, me and the people I was watching it with had, where it's like, man, they keep like pulling in reserve sailors for this from somewhere. It has a little bit of the Voyager problem.
Okay.
Right? Like, my personal opinion.
Instead of running out of torpedoes, they just run out of red shirts. But
well, I mean, Voyager ran out of red shirts after should have run out of red shirts after season 1, right? Along with torpedoes. But Yeah, so you kind of they run into the running out of red shirts problem a little bit, which I thought was kind of amusing. But all in all, it's I would argue it is not a replacement for the books, but it is a solid version of the story.
Okay.
Okay. And I do think that, well, and when I say books, I mean like, because my version of it, they broke the book into part 1 and part 2. But like the original epic was one super long poem, right?
Like
but I just right. But I have because I have it in the English translation, the standard translation, and I have it in the original Greek. And yeah, I would say that I enjoyed it. It is not nearly as... This is probably, I think, as close to how my mind imagined some of these scenes playing out as I think you can realistically get in thing. Like, the way they did Charybdis, the way they did Scylla was, like the sea monsters basically, was really well thought out. Okay? So, I think it's worth seeing. I think if you want to understand where a lot of your hero stories come from, and one of the earliest times when we see the hero's journey actually done, this is the book. And because that's the book, this is the movie. Okay? So I would go see it. I would go spend the money to see it on a quality screen. I wouldn't see it at like one of those like mall cinemas. I would,
unless it's a Miami mall cinema, but
well, here's what I would say. I wouldn't see it on like one of the cheapy mall cinemas where it's like maybe 20 seat kind of cinema.
Right. Make sure it's a fat screen. If not a digital IMAX at the very least, try to get a Dolby Atmos, because those screens are huge. Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's what I'm saying. And now when it came to the images on screen, like, yes, I'm watching it in digital IMAX. But it looked better than previous IMAX movies I had seen.
And that's because that's because shooting in 70 millimeter, it's so freaking it's 16K essentially.
Yeah,
and
effectively.
What the digital, the next phase of IMAX, as it says it does, is what the digital version does is it scans it in and it does an extremely hyper sharp 4K resolution version, which that was basically the research that I did. And so this is what allows IMAX theaters to be built at more cost effectively in more, well, can't really say rural areas right now because at the moment I wouldn't say John lives in a rural area, but in a less populated zone,
in like a more suburban area,
right, where you could still get an IMAX experience that's going to be almost as good as the 70 millimeter. And then if you do love it that much, make the pilgrimage to your nearest IMAX. That's what I'm still gonna try and get tickets, if they open up more showtimes at the Fort Lauderdale IMAX, because if I get the chance to see it in 70 millimeter, might as well.
And like I saw it at my local IMAX, and I would 100% travel into downtown, deepest, darkest downtown Toronto, to the Scotiabank Theatre and watch it in the proper IMAX. But this was a solid choice.
Yeah, no, Laser IMAX is an excellent, like I said, it doesn't cheapen the experience, but it would if you do it, in the other direction. If you make films for Laser IMAX to try to put it in 70 millimeter, it's not going to work the same. So,
yeah.
And that's what I think needs to happen with movies everywhere. What's the incentive to come check out the movie on the big screen? Unfortunately, theaters got cheap over the years, and they decided to just put people in seats and make as much money as they can. And then eventually people got sick of that because, well, why am I going to go sit, in a seat and make my ass hurt for hours?
Now, before we go, because you guys, I never want you guys to say I don't do nothing for you. I just posted a link in the private chat there. I have the trailer for season 4 of Reacher.
All right, then yeah, we're gonna shift back to our pop culture, and we're gonna watch that real quick.
You know, because I care about you guys so much, I bring you this.
Jack Reacher, where's the drive that Anna Merrick gave to you before she killed herself on the train?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Do you think we're stupid?
Yes. Told you.
Do I know you? No, but I'm the last person to talk to your sister. There is no way that my sister killed herself.
Show me what you have. Your sister's involved in something big enough that the federal government's worried and people are trying to work me over on the street because of it.
Why do you care?
I'm good at not letting people get away with things.
No, his mind is not for rent to any god or government.
You were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you saw the wrong thing. Walk away.
No.
I'm a cop! You can't do like that!
Shut up.
They weren't the only ones who wanted it.
2 people tried to kill me over it.
What happened to those people?
They got away?
I'm a journalist. I have to get the story out. A man like Samson cannot take the White House.
He's on the run.
I'm not CIA! My van has cops on it!
Look at you. You think a hat's gonna make you blend in?
We have mercenaries, feds, the CIA, and all after this thing. We still don't know why.
And what do you say about his company? It's what you say about society.
Still alive? Good.
Today's Tom Sawyer, he gets high on you.
Cool.
Yeah. Incidentally, the subway cars and the subway terminal that they shoot in, I know where those are. Those are in a place we call Lower Bay in Toronto. There's a specific subway station that they built a second subway station underneath, and they use it for filming.
All right.
And I've actually gotten a chance to tour and be in there. And yeah, that's Lower Bay. And that's a TTC, Toronto Transit Commission subway train.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Got a couple of last minute, 2 more stories to wrap up, and then we'll talk about Spider Noir and then Halo Campaign Evolved, and somewhere in there, I believe Corione will be dipping. Game Pass was supposed to save Xbox. Instead, it's killing the company. Every gamer has dreamed about having an infinite library of games to choose from. Perhaps that began with the envy of that one friend you had growing up who seemed to own every game, or the kid in a candy store feeling of browsing the aisles in GameStop or GameStation. We've all had that dream, but video gaming is an expensive hobby. The current standard price of a AAA game is $70, with another $10 increase looming on the horizon. Meanwhile, the world's other major entertainment mediums, movies, music, and TV have embraced subscription-funded streaming. With this as the backdrop, it's no wonder one man had an ambitious vision. What if you paid $9.99 a month for access to a whole cornucopia of games? After all, if it could work for film and television, why could it work for video games? Back in 2017, former Xbox head Phil Spencer's novel idea felt like it had arrived at just the right time. So how did Game Pass go from being Xbox's innovative new spark to setting the company on fire? Oh boy, this is a deep dive into, oh no, wait, there's a whole new article right there. Yeah, I mean, this is fascinating to hear that it's not doing as well as they'd thought, because they even dropped the price a bit. And to be perfectly honest, like, I would not be paying $50 for Halo Campaign Evolved. I would probably maybe pay $20 for that game for what I've experienced thus far. And it's just, it's got a lot of elements that are decent, but overall it's missing a lot of the feel and the uniqueness that made Halo. Instead, it tries to just make all the Halo games at once in a campaign evolved, or in a combat evolved remake. And so it's just not, we'll see how it goes the rest of the way, whether I get into that tonight or tomorrow. But guys, what are your thoughts with Game Pass?
I mean, okay, so I'm not a Game Pass person. So I don't really, have too much to say, but I will say, like, I think it was a great idea. I'm worried it might have been a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah, because it's saying here they paid $300 million for Jedi Survivor and Suicide Squad. And I mean,
I don't feel like Game Pass is the issue.
Okay.
Like, if you think about it, it's the same thing that is making Xbox sell everything off. I think it's the guy that was in charge 2 weeks ago. Like, more than anything, he thought of Game Pass as this thing that would just buy all of these other games and give them to you for free, and that's why you would all subscribe for the rest of your life. And it's like, yeah, but most people prefer Steam's accessibility. Most people prefer like Steam's ability, like amount of games offered. And like even me personally, I would rather buy my games on Steam than Xbox. And so like to me, I feel like what Game Pass really missed the opportunity was to be the storehouse of old games and ride that high.
Yeah.
Where everybody wants to buy Game Pass because Xbox is one of the few like long-term consoles that has made almost every game since backwards compatible. And so in that sense, Game Pass can act as the universal backwards compatible device. And that's where you could have all of these games that Sony's getting in trouble for not taking care of. You can have Xbox and Microsoft championing the servers for all of these legacy games. And suddenly Game Pass becomes one of like a staple, a part of the society, a part of the gaming community, not in any way related to Xbox itself. Whereas like Xbox is the major console you download Game Pass on. And then they could have literally run two different data streams and two different monetization streams.
Yeah.
And then, they could have published all of their exclusives directly to Game Pass for the first like 6 months. It's free. Now you're baiting. And if the game hooks, now the studio is going to sell. But if the game doesn't hook, you don't take that responsibility. You only took 6 months. Gave them 6 months of an opportunity to sell their game. It didn't hook anybody. They're off. Next game. You don't care. You're Game Pass. You're the place where people put their legacy servers. But instead, they went for this other thing where they bought all of these studios, assuming they were going to just generate good games because they were going to pitch them the games that they needed to generate. Because they knew what
quick buck.
the stats were telling them that everybody wanted. They knew what the groups, the focus tests were saying. But the reality was none of them were like any gamers. None of them were their actual user base. So nobody asked them what they wanted.
Yep.
You know what actually could have worked?
Flopped.
You know what actually could have worked really well? Open Game Pass to indie devs that are producing like their very first couple of games and literally allow the community on Game Pass to vote whether this studio gets additional funding to make the game that they actually want to make it into, right? Like think about it as
It's
like
not even a vote
the Minecraft generator, if you will, right?
You could do not only a vote system, like you can do ups and like thumbs and thumbs down, right? But then at the same time, like you, Xbox, are now creating a universal source of innovators where you can just start picking streams going, you know what? I don't even care what the studio, like the guys are saying right now. They're not voting for this game, but I love what this game is creating. I'm going to bring them in-house and we're going to have them have another 15 people to build a bigger game. Oh, look, suddenly their users went up because you can fluff the numbers at will without being the number one progenitor. Like if you're sitting there trying to also generate while simultaneously trying to foster creation, you're going to get mad at all of your competition and you're going to downplay them or you're going to denigrate those studios. Like see the studio that did Hi-Fi Rush. Suddenly they got moved around to other studios so that you could fluff other studios rather than just letting that studio flourish and watering it. You didn't need to own the whole plant and take responsibility for its growth. Instead, you could have just watered it, invested in it, and then suddenly the studio produces more because they have somebody backing them rather than produces more because they're afraid of getting destroyed for not producing enough. Like fear is not as good a motivator as faith and
Yeah.
trust and investment. But like that's the part that the last guy did wrong. And I feel like that's the best part about this situation is like you don't have to run away. You've created the platform, you've created the program, you have the system. Now just change the pay fors going forward. What's the point? Should be legacy. Everybody wants legacy. If you notice the EU petition that suddenly got overturned for no reason, like there was over 1 million signatures in the EU to preserve legacy servers. I'm not saying Game Pass is the best option, but I am saying they are an option that could also make them look really good to every gamer out there. Oh, you guys are going to be focused on preserving legacy servers for games that are studios that don't want to pay for it? Wow, way to take one for the team. Let me get my subscription because I love Conker's Bad Fur Day, because I love old legacy games that I want to play again.
The Soul Calibur 1 and 2. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's all I'm saying is like, just change the focus and suddenly you're making money and everybody that's subscribed could be anybody again. Like that whole idea of this is an Xbox, that was stupid.
Yep.
This is a place where I can get Game Pass.
So,
this is a place where I can get Game Pass on every console, and it's Game Pass, not Xbox. Game Pass.
Yep. All right, next. So good discussion, you guys. And
But that was my rant for the night because I do have to put the kiddos down. I love you guys.
Okay. We still got to talk
But
Spider
also
Noir.
Spider Noir, 10 out of 10. Spider Noir. Episode 1 was like a 7. Episode 2, I was hooked, and it took everything in me not to press play on episode 3.
Yeah, me too.
Respect.
Love you all. Good night.
Good night.
All right, well, I was going to hit the Ted Lasso season 4 trailer, but since he decided to bail early, that's that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just kind of get into it then. So, spoilers, but really it's the first 2 episodes anyway. I don't think it'll ruin the show. But you know what? Corio and Hannah and I are going to talk about it and see what you think. So,
in the 1920s, private investigator Ben Riley once operated as the vigilante The Spider, but retired after his fiancée Ruby Williams died. In 1933, Ben and another PI, Donegal, are hired by a man named Winston to find criminal Jimmy Addison. Donegal kills Addison after he later tries to attack him when cornered, revealing himself to have pyrokinesis in the process. Ben is later hired to investigate nightclub singer Kat Hardy, the younger wife of a man named Carmody, for infidelity. At the Red Cliff, Ben discreetly stops Kat's supposed lover from assaulting her. He and Donegal then learn that the Winston is the right-hand man for crime boss Silvermane, who Donegal plans to exploit. Ben and his secretary Janet also discover that Kat's companion is Mayor Alfred Morris, so they drop the case. After learning the police recovered Addison's body, Ben goes to the Alcove nightclub to blackmail Kat and warn Donegal about Silvermane. Silvermane tortures and kills Donegal while Kat sends her bodyguards Flint Marco, who is able to turn his body into sand. After Ben abandons the blackmail after Kat breaks up the fight. The next day, Kat hires him to investigate Marco's disappearance.
So, H. Marie, give us your thoughts.
Like I said before, this role with Nick Cage he's perfect for it. I mean, I've been thoroughly enjoying watching the show, and yeah, I've basically tried to not watch the next episodes as well because they are just, it's so good.
Yeah, contrary to John's silly opinion about episode 1, just not quite. I guess maybe for his taste, it just, well, you know, I wish I could speak for him. I guess I technically can since he's not here and decided to bail early. But for me, I was actually enjoying the first episode. I will say that the pacing does take a little bit to get kind of going, but at the same time, that's sort of the trope of the Noir era. It doesn't always get, you know, to the actiony parts, and when there is action, it's pretty quick because, well, typically low budget. Now, that said, Amazon did not skimp on the budget at all. They do. Now, I've been watching it in black and white. You can watch it in color if you want to. It is suggested that you watch it in the authentic black and white. I've been enjoying it in authentic black and white. H. Marie, what do you think in authentic black and white so far?
I already know that once we're done watching the series in black and white, I'm going to go back through and watch it in color just because I want to see it in both.
So now there's replay, ability added to the show because now it's available in 2 formats. You can go back and experience it again. The first episode does a pretty good job of world building and establishing itself as its own thing. It doesn't have any direct links to any other multiverse stuff. And honestly, I think that's really what I enjoyed, even just in the first episode, is that it's not it's just being its own thing. It's taking the concept of Spider-Man and putting it in the 1920s, a private investigator Noir era. And honestly, it with Nicolas Cage as the Spider, it really works. If you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, it's worth watching at least the first couple of episodes. So yeah. And then we do see Flint, so we actually get we get the Sandman, and that's what's also cool is that they use the villains throughout the series, but then they get different roles and different histories, and so this is what I think is a proper use of multiverse storytelling, is taking an original idea and then doing something a little bit different with it, but then not like feeling like, okay, are we going to bring Nick Cage's Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse? Probably. But do we have to? No. We could actually leave Spider-Noir in its own thing as its own entity if we really wanted to.
Yeah, no, I mean, the character of Noir Spider-Man is in the Spider-Verse kind of universe. So that's where he actually started from.
So that is okay. So they have already. Was he voiced by Nick Cage?
No. Well, I was talking about the comics. I know that he appears in the Into the Spider-Verse, and he's not he's not done by Nick Cage.
Okay, so he may be the same character who shows up in the Spider-Verse, for sure referenced in the comic book series, and eventually would cross over, or at least, experience the different timelines. But that's weird, being that he's from the 1920s. But yeah, whatever. So,
well, I mean, one of the best Marvel runs is actually Marvel 1602, which is like the Marvel heroes in the Victorian era.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's pretty dope. So
that does sound dope. So, all right, I'll read the episode 2 synopsis, and then we'll probably just we'll wrap up that part of the discussion, and then I believe Corion, that's probably gonna be a few. All right, so
that's gonna be it for me. Yeah.
Episode 2, Tread Lightly. Despite suspecting Cat is hiding information, Ben accepts the case and searches Marco's apartment, discovering that Marco and Addison were former World War I soldiers who once worked as enforcers for Silvermane. Cat admits Silvermane owns the alcove and says she has personal reasons for searching for Marco. Silvermane's men later capture Ben, but he manages to escape. Ben's journalist friend Robbie Robertson interviews Addison's widow and learns that he has been spending the money Addison earned from burning down Silvermane's mansion on a luxurious lifestyle. Meanwhile, Marco's condition worsens, forcing him to hide with his friend Lonnie Lincoln, who has superhuman strength and unbreakable skin. After Silvermane's men threaten Janet, Ben becomes the Spider again. During an alcohol shipment, the Spider defeats Silvermane's henchmen and intimidates him into leaving Ben and Janet alone. Later, Robbie tells Ben that by confronting Silvermane, he unintentionally saved his life because the police had planned an ambush at the docks.
Now that was a fascinating twist that I didn't quite see coming, that was how they were going to play it into him trying to step up and do the right thing ends up screwing the plot, and that's one of the reasons why I was so eager to get into episode 3, and I might have to dive into it tonight or maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, so what do you think so far, Corion? Are you excited to watch this yet?
I mean, I am. Honestly, I am. I feel like this is one that I kind of want to binge through. So I kind of want to hit it in one sitting.
I mean, as long as you can keep the discussion to 2 episodes a week, how you choose to watch it is your choice.
Fair.
I can't
Fair.
can't stop you. You just that's why. But that's why we do the episode synopsis before, so we know okay where we're talking at, where we're at, and then that way we can get into the next one. So next week
Fair
we'll be
enough.
doing episode 3 and 4. So you can at least binge half of it to start.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do.
And then so we do 3 through 4 next week, and then of course we've got but yeah. But thanks
That's it.
Corion for hanging out. Appreciate you. We're gonna talk about some campaign involved, and then we'll cut out for the night.
Absolutely. Good night, guys. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Night. So, H. Marie, what were some of your initial impressions of Halo Campaign Evolved?
To be honest, I'm surprised my computer could handle it. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It definitely could do with some updates. I might wait a few updates before I play again. Just tracking and the tethering was still a little off. I mean, it was bad, but I don't know yet.
Yeah. Here, of course, I'll skip ahead. So I think my buddy Bronson Fiore probably put it best. It's basically like somebody is pretending to be your best friend, and they convince you to come over and hang out and watch movies and play video games, and they're clearly saying all the things you want to hear, but you can tell it's basically like they cut off your best friend's face and are wearing it as their face on their skin. It's a little morbid, grotesque, but I mean, sadly, that's kind of what I feel here. Today, H. Marie and I embarked on co-op. We did the bonus missions to see what they were all about. And
when in doubt, grenade out.
The gameplay itself feels good, but I just don't see, aside from visuals, what the point of going to the Unreal Engine was. And really, it seems like, Infinite on the Slipspace engine was fine. So I think we could have stayed with the same engine. We didn't really need to go to a new one. The other issue I had, though, was while I was happy to, play with the classic Magnum, as you can see here, as we started playing, we started picking up all the weapons from Halo 2 and Halo 3, which kind of take away from the novelty of those games. Because in Halo, you're limited to the assault rifle and the weapons that you can use, and you can't use the sword while the elites can, and that kind of creates a set of challenges. And then also not having a sprint feature is a whole other set of variables that change the experience. It does look good. The Needler felt great. I did like the way the Needler was shooting and overall playing. And then story-wise, this was okay. The writing was fine, not great, but just could have been better. And I'm looking forward to getting into the main missions, but to be honest, I'm really glad that I don't have to pay for a copy of this, because honestly, I think it's just going to end up being played through once, and then I'm going to probably uninstall it and never touch it again.
Okay, as much as
it'll be the first Halo game on PS5, first and probably only Halo game on the PlayStation. So that is kind of neat. But yeah, here, watching the footage again, here, H. Marie, what are some of your thoughts?
I mean, it was definitely fun from a different perspective, but I want to get into the main campaign and just see how that runs, because since it is made with Unreal Engine, gotta at least give it that chance.
And I think you're right, and I think these prequel missions, while well-intended, I think it just didn't really hit the... It just didn't do it for me. It just felt like someone trying to... Like Bronson said, it's someone pretending to be your best friend, like they know you and they have but they hit you so hard with the Halo nostalgia of all the weapons from across the different games, and even all the music across the different games, that I thought was kind of weird to do. Like, yeah, use the original Halo soundtrack, maybe touch it up a little bit and add some new movements, but to just, splice in pieces from Halo 2 and 3 that were written for specific scenes and experiences in the series, this game, this just feels like it's cheapening the overall Halo experience. And that's really sad because it's like the artists clearly tried their best to make it look great, and even QA did a pretty good job of making sure the game plays well. The only issues I was having were some stability, but that's to be expected given that, my card's running in, 1440 on medium settings.
Was the Spiker Halo 2?
So,
Yeah, I don't remember.
there's some good positives, but overall, I think if Halo is going to continue this, they should just go back to the slipspace and just go back to just making Halo the way it was. The novelty of Combat Evolved is the fact that it is so limited and it plays the way that it does. I just don't foresee the story, which even then, the Combat Evolved story, there isn't much there to begin with. So, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But we'll see. We're going to experience the rest of it. We may either do the rest on either Facebook or YouTube. I don't know which yet. Because, as fun as it was on Facebook, no one wanted to show up in chat. Oh well. Maybe next time. Or maybe Halo will have a better response. Alright, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us on tonight's Entertainment Information Intelligence podcast. I'm going to thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We will be back next week with more Odyssey discussion, more Spider-Noir discussion, and probably some Spider-Man Brand New Day discussion. Or we might do that in a special. I don't know. Want to thank John 005 for showing up in the chat today, and anybody else who's following up in the rewatch. We appreciate you guys too. Please don't forget to keep getting the messages out there, and don't forget to send us emails, writerbrothers@gmail.com, if you have a story that you think we should cover. If you have something that you think is worthy of our time, we'll talk about it. I'm Peter York. We'll see you next week. Good night. This has been the Entertainment Information Intelligence Podcast from the Writer Brothers. The Writer Brothers, restoring respect in a discourse. Good night.